This is game number 1, 2, 3. This is game number 4 of the day here at track number 3.
Indeed it is. It is the Wheels of Mayhem taking on Collision Roller Derby.
I am Loose Change.
And I'm Rippy Longstocking.
How's your day been today, Rippy?
It's been full of derby, which is my favorite way to spend it.
Isn't it just great that way?
It is.
It's one of my favorite things to do. So, if you tuned in for the bout before this, I'm still here. If you're new, hello, welcome. So we have, like we said, the Wheels of Mayhem out of Baja California, Mexico, going up against Collision Roller Derby, a funnel league from the North
Carolina.
North
That's right.
Carolina. So let's go ahead and roll through these names. See what I did there with the rolls?
Yes.
Being
rolls.
punny today.
Nice.
Triple zeros. That's 000. Leviathan 1122. Satisfaction. He's one of my favorite. Number 217 Leon. Number 25 Dr. Manhattan. Number 3 Jin. Number 38 Esperanza. Number 5 Ghost, and number 55 Daredevil.
I will introduce you to Collision. They are wearing the blue jerseys. 001 Mighty Mouth, 1312 Noam Chomsky, 1358 Brick House, 14 The Senator, 24 Matt Daddy, 26 Hit or Miss, 329 Admiral Packbar, 42 Walter Cation, 52 Boomerang, 9 Real Slim Skady, and 999 Easy Button. Coached today by Evil Ed, Foxy, and Moon Chai. Up on the line first, Lin Yan in green with the star for the Wheels, and 42 Walter Cation with the star for Collision.
Oh, I forget. My apologies to the leadership of Wheels of Mayhem. Cobra Hiss and Silent Bob are the coaches for the Wheels of Mayhem.
And 5 seconds call on the track. And here we go, jam number 1. Lin Yan getting recycled back by Packbar. Walter Cation working against the front of the pack. Looks like that's Brick House trying to run a little interference there for Walter Cation. And lead jam goes to Collision. Oh, that was an interesting little jump there by the Senator, I think that was.
Yeah, that was.
He was just jumping. He just needed to jump. Walter Cation with a vehement call off there will pick up 3 points for Collision.
Meanwhile, we've got Daredevil on the line for Wheels of Mayhem.
That's Boomerang with the star for Collision. Both jammers doing a little thinking there before they dive in.
Daredevil, attempts to go to the outside, hit out, attempts to on the inside, gets hit out again, is recycled by Noam Chomsky.
Back behind the pivot line, but trying to find an outside lane. Getting recycled again back to the pivot line.
Meanwhile, Boomerang just having a heck of a time. Look at that with a beautiful apex jump. Daredevil's lead jammer.
Picks up that lead pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Boomerang still trying to get out. Looks like he's taking off the star. We'll see if that's a stash or a pass.
Yeah, there was a good hit out there by Leviathan, causing him to have to recycle all the way back like that.
So that was a no pass, no penalty there for Daredevil. The blocker blocked him out, but stepped a little bit out of bounds as well, and so able to come back in immediately. And Boomerang finally out of the pack, holding the star in his hand.
Daredevil picked up 5 points. A little bit of penalty trouble leaves only 2 blockers on the track for Collision.
Mayhem putting themselves 5 on the board over Collision's 3.
Unfortunately, looks like Daredevil being assessed a track cut penalty
Right at the very end there.
right at the end. So this will be a power start for Waltercation, number 42 for Collision.
Altercation able to pick up lead jammer last time. Let's see if he can do it on a power start. Gets driven inbounds, but nice job there by Packbar trying to keep the recycle from happening.
Big hits happening out there.
And Waltercation is out. One last swing and a hit there. Little offensive run there. Whoa, one other swing.
Big
That was
hit there by Esparza.
Esparza, a big presence out there on the track, doing a lot of defensive work. That is a name to watch if you were in the Fantasy Derby League.
There's a Fantasy Derby League?
I just made that up.
I'm sure it exists. It has to exist somewhere.
Well, I hope it does.
All right, looks like we've got hit or miss on the line for Collision, going up against Lignon for the wheels. But Lignon assessed that track cut penalty.
Really quickly, and not even to the pivot line, picks up that track cut. Let's see if hit or miss can get through this big wall. You see all of her teammates there collapsing in, trying to help her break up that defense, but they are not going to let her out easily.
Hit or miss, down to 2 blockers out there for the assist.
Looks like Satisfaction is hanging out at the front of the wall there.
Satisfaction. Let me tell you about Satisfaction and how much I'm in love with him. I have had the opportunity to call, I believe this is my 3rd or 4th bout for the Wheels of Mayhem. And Satisfaction is just so beautiful to watch on the track. Such a commanding presence and has that ability to really drive the other jammer and blockers out, as well as really control that tripod when needed. My little ode to Satisfaction. Hey, Satisfaction.
Lignon out, putting up points on the board, was unable to pick up lead, but hit or miss, removing the star, now also ineligible for lead.
Oh.
Only got about 20 seconds left in this jam, but it will run down to the end.
Looks like we've got a star pass. We do have a star pass. It is official now. That is number 14. That is the Senator for the Collision.
So, yeah, we're going to wait for this jam to come to a close. I'm not sure. Let's see if the Senator was able to pick up a point, too. But, you know, Wheels taking a commanding lead on that particular jam. 12 points total. Waiting to see the points go up for Collision.
It didn't, actually, Collision actually didn't have any. The 2 points were for
Wheels. I'm sorry.
Yes, they were for Wheels. The points
I apologize.
were in favor of Wheels.
In favor of Wheels. So that puts Wheels at 20 and Collision at 3. We're at 23 and a half minutes left in the first half of this game between the Wheels of Mayhem and Collision Roller Derby.
And we have Daredevil jamming again, but picks up that track cut penalty. The second track cut penalty, I believe. And there goes Satisfaction to the penalty box with him. So we have Boomerang.
Boomerang out as lead. All of Wheels, the defenders just collapse on Boomerang there and push him right out of the top of that. Nice job there by Brickhouse, opening up a lane on the inside.
Boomerang sees it, uses it, picks up 5 points.
Leviathan, they're trying to get held back by Brickhouse, but that's a quick skater there. So Boomerang able to pick up 5 so far. 10, sorry. 10. 2 laps, 10. Oh, interesting little move here. That's Daredevil recycling Boomerang back. Boomerang is lead.
One of the things that I've realized that Daredevil, in previous bouts this weekend, what Daredevil has done, if he is hit out and the opposing player runs back, he will very often just stand there and wait for the pack to get to the point where that blocker needs to continue moving forward to either can stay with the pack or until the out of play is called.
Nice little move. I can't even see the blockers from my particular vantage point, but that was a nice for someone to notice the pivot did not need to be out there. Whipped off the helmet cover really quickly, saving his teammate. So that is Walter Cation on the line for Collision and Lignon back on the line for Wheels.
Lignon is your lead jammer.
So far, we're only a few minutes into this game, but they have been regularly trading off lead jammer statuses.
Status
Stat
I.
I. Yes. Stat I.
Looks like Satisfaction heading back to that penalty box.
Walter Cation out of the pack. Wait. Okay. So, yeah, I was like, wait, I'm totally confused because, so he was not lead jammer, no big deal. Lots of time elapsed there before Lignon is the lead. Walter Cation is coming in. Looks like both jammers able to pick up 4 points there. So Collision at 20, Wheels at 24.
10 minutes in. This is exciting. I love this kind. I got a little concerned there when they had that real big jam.
Yep.
But Collision's been able to come back. It's been great.
It is. I do love a good close game. Gotta say.
Part-time being called. No. Time out.
There isn't a part-time here.
That's true. There's really not. You can't do derby part-time. Timeout being called by Wheels of Mayhem, giving them an opportunity to sort of check in on stuff. While that's happening, let me tell you about Hit This. Hit This Derby gear has everything you need to get rolling, from skates to protective gear, not to mention their unmatched service for all of your derby needs before you hit the track. Hit This.
I don't think we mentioned right at the beginning LC. That's what I'm going to call you.
Oh.
I just decided it was going to be LC.
Oh, okay. I love it. I love a decisive woman.
Yes, I was like, that came out of my mouth. So LC, we didn't actually mention that Wheels is coming out with an 8-skater roster.
They are.
So we will see a lot of names.
So here's the deal, though. Collision only has a 10-skater roster as well. So, I mean...
So I just feel like they have enough to get 2 jams and get a rest in between,
right.
Whereas Wheels does not quite have enough skaters to get a full rest.
Hence the reason that I'm very familiar with all of their names, because when there's 8 of them and you see them a lot, you see them a lot.
Yes. So Daredevil back on the line for the Wheels, and that's Hit or Miss on the line for Collision. Hit or Miss got 1 blocker to beat. Now Collision does have a track advantage. Yep. Okay, so what happened there was Hit or Miss got driven out of bounds, but was unsure if the penalty was going to be called there on that blocker. It indeed was. She took the track and picked up lead.
So that was Ghost. There was a little bit of confusion about kind of what was going on, but Hit or Miss clears that pack, picks up 5. Meanwhile, Daredevil coming up on point scoring position.
Hit or Miss's bench going crazy. Call it. Now,
Collision picks up 5. Wheels picks up 2.
That last pass he's saying 0, but I think there'll be some. So on that last pass, they're saying she did not actually make it up to Okay, and while we were straightening that out, the jam happened, and that's Boomerang.
Boomerang.
So we were maybe also some confusion on the track. I don't know. Lignon getting held up at the front of that pack, looking for a star pass, but it was kind of a fake, just kind of a fake out. Worked out. He's out of the pack on an initial pass.
We've got Dr. Manhattan, the only blocker out there right now for the wheels of Mayhem. Getting a little bit of block there by, I think that was Noam Chomsky. No, I was wrong. Maybe? I can't see his number.
This guy right here?
Yeah,
That's Brickhouse. Yes.
So it's Brickhouse.
For those of you watching at home, we are kind of over in a little bit of a corner, and sometimes people stand in front of us.
Or they stand at an angle.
We try to see their things, but not always. It doesn't always work.
And we have an official review being called by Collision Roller Derby. I wonder what it's going to be about.
I'm going to imagine it had something to do with those points that were happening, but, I'm speculating, and I don't know.
Points. I feel like points is always something that you want, you want to try to fight
clarify.
for.
Right now, the scoreboard stands at 34 Collision, 26 wheels. So
17:40 remaining in this first half. Oh, what?
I'm sorry. We'll update you if that changes. But what I did want to update our listeners about, every morning I kind of get up and I've been looking at the scores. So Emerald City Roller Girls, that's ecrg.com and /Big O. You can see everything that's happening here at the Big O, and also there's a little tab up top or a little link that has the scores, and it divides it up by WIFSIDA, MRDA, and JRDA, and so you can see all of the games, how they're happening and how they've matched up team for team, and that's always really neat to see the different teams on the same rule set, how they're matching up against one another.
So what can you tell us about Wheels?
So Wheels took a loss to Denver on Friday and a loss to Lane County on Saturday. Collision took a loss to Houston on Friday and a loss to Texas on Saturday. So both of these teams are really anxious to work hard and get a win on their...
Wheels played the Dakota Norsemen, and they won.
Maybe there's one I missed. Did they play 3 games?
Yeah, because I think I've done all of them. And
okay, let me just double check. I'm double checking the schedule.
Yeah, that's right. Check that schedule.
So if they played 3 games, I know for a fact that Collision only played the 2 because I did check with their coach before the game.
I know they play. I know that they played Denver because I called that
Blue
one.
Is challenging lack of an insubordination call on green 1122. Green 1122 was the last remaining green blocker on the track. He remained on the track per official instruction and reported to the box once told to report to the box. The Blue will not retain their official review.
So that was not about points or penalties. Well, it was kind of about a penalty. But it was in regards to that blocker beat remaining on the track when they should normally leave as soon as they hear and not receiving an insubordination. But so
yes, I missed 1 game by Wheels.
Look at that.
I was actually calling a game at the same time on another track. So that could have been why I missed it.
Well, that's okay. That's why I'm here for you.
You are here for me. Thank you
I got
so
you,
much.
boo.
Thank you.
So, while you were doing your research, we went back to the roller derby action.
Yes.
And with that, we've got Dare Dover back out there on the line, as well as Walter Cation for the Collision on the line. Walter Cation is your lead jammer.
So I'm sure while I was reading, everyone heard about the insubordination or lack thereof and Collision losing their official review. Walter Cation pushing hard here against this tripod of green at the front of the pack, led by Esparza, doing a great job of just holding down the tripod coaching them left to right, into out.
Esparza, Leviathan.
Oh, my goodness.
Ew.
There's your man. Woo! That was a big hit.
A big hit and a big jump right there.
So Collision able to pick up 5 there. Puts them at 39. Wheels at 26.
And a matchup we have already seen, hit or miss for Collision, going up against Linyan for the Wheels.
Oh, nice move to the outside.
Move to the outside. Linyan is your lead jammer.
Hit or miss. 2 blockers to beat. Wow. Oh, that was a big hit there. And it was penalty worthy, actually. A couple penalties worthy. They have to let her go. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was 2 penalties, but it's actually the wrong person was headed to the box, and so they'll switch out now. One last hit there, a dodge of a referee. Collision's back in, trying to hang on to Linyan, but finds an outside spin, and Linyan is through. Hit or miss.
Having that coming up against that
Yeah, they're
Dr. Manhattan and Esparza.
Yeah, those two are extremely good at just reading one another and communicating with one another and getting back and forth across the track. Meanwhile, Leviathan is out of the penalty box and also
Satisfaction's out of the penalty box. Mighty Mouth is out of the penalty box. We've got full contingents on the track.
Hit or miss has to take a moment, rethink her strategy. Linyan at 1 to beat. Matt Daddy knocks him out, drives him out, and Linyan just says, I'm gonna call it here.
Yep.
A really good run there, a 12-point jam for Linyan. That's 38. And Collision managed to pick up 4 on that one, so it's 43 to 38.
So that's a 5-point difference that we're looking at right now. One thing that I've really enjoyed watching because I've had the opportunity to call multiple bouts for these delightful men from Baja California, Mexico. Daredover has always been a very effective jammer, and he's currently jamming, going up against, who is that, number 52? That is Boomerang. But so it's been really fun to see because in the first couple bouts, their jammer rotation really consisted of Dr. Manhattan instead of Linyan, and they've sort of switched that now, where you have Linyan jamming, Dr. Manhattan taking the pivot.
So it looks to me like this is the pivot cap on the track. Is that correct? Because the star is clearly on Daredover's head, but this appears to be the pivot cap right here in between the jammer and pivot line.
I agree with that statement. That jammer, that pivot cover is not stopping Boomerang, though.
Boomerang's just going to skate around it. It's fine.
Boomerang's picking up what? We're at 10 points right now for Boomerang.
I think that the pivot cover actually did confuse Daredover for just a minute as he came around the first lap because he thought he had lost his own star, but no, he did not. He will pick up a track cut there.
So,
little leap there by Boomerang, landed hard, called it off. It was a 20-point jam for Boomerang in Collision.
woo.
That puts him at 63 to Wheels 38. We're right over 12 minutes left in the first half of this game between the Wheels of Mayhem and Collision Rollin' Derby.
This is going to be a power start for Waltercation because jammer Leon is it Leon? Daredover. Thank you.
I got you.
Thanks, Boo. Because Daredover is in the penalty box.
Now, there is also one blocker for the wheels in the penalty box, so there is a slight track advantage to Collision, but the blockers that are out there are ones that we have heard their names many times. They are hanging on to Waltercation. Mouth trying to run a little interference there, but here comes Leviathan out of the penalty box.
Ooh, big hit there by Leviathan. Given enough time for Daredevil to come back in.
So, Leviathan, it was out of bounds, and so you can hear Waltercation's bench shouting, but I think he just needed to take a minute, check out things.
I would have.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really big hit.
Just sort of like, okay, yep, nope, head's still on straight, everything's still good.
Everything's attached. I just need a minute.
Taking a minute in roller derby's not necessarily a bad thing. You just want to be careful about when you're doing it.
Right. So Lenyan out there again at the front of the collision. Oh, nice little move there.
That is Ghost,
Sparza,
I believe.
Oh, no, it's Ghost. I'm sorry.
I'm not. Wait, hold on. No, you were right, because Ghost is a currently blocking Boomerang.
They're all over Boomerang there, but that was a Sparza with a big hit there, driving Pack Bar out of bounds, and it's Boomerang that's through the pack first as lead. We're under 10 minutes here.
Satisfaction hit to the outside there. Wow, that was 329, so that was Admiral Pack Bar.
Boomerang headed back in. Doing a little juke. Manages to hang on to the outside lane, but got one more. Oh, nice move there. But Satisfaction was going to take one last hit, but realized I'm out of play. I don't want the penalty, so he held up.
You know, I mean, that's one. When you have 8 players, that penalty, those penalties, that's something that you need to be really careful about.
Absolutely. You don't want any unnecessary penalties. You got to play it as clean as they come.
You know, I mean, golly, when you've got a team of 14 or so, you know, you could, in all reality, if you have a 2 foul out, 3 foul out, not the end of the world. When you've got 8, you have 2 or 3 foul out. That means that you only have enough for one line.
That's Daredevil with a star for the wheels. Out as lead jammer. Hit or miss, still getting a lot of hits out there from the wheels. Again, experiencing that tripod in one from the wheels, just locking her down.
Satisfaction driving that tripod with Ghost and Dr. Manhattan.
That's Easy Button picking up a penalty. I missed the verbal cue on that, but headed to the box. There is a star pass from Hit or Miss to Brick House. Daredevil through for another 5-10 so far on the board.
Jin reporting to the penalty box for the wheels.
And Daredevil sees the star pass, decides that his very strong 14-point jam is good. That brings the wheels to 52 and Collision to 68. 7.5 minutes left in the first half.
7.5 minutes, and I mean, we're looking at 14 points.
It's been a pretty exciting game. Everybody's been close.
I'm liking this.
I like it a lot.
We've got Lignan back on the line for the wheels. Is that Waltercation? Yes, it is. Nice hit to the inside line there by Admiral Packbar, recycling Lignan.
Lignan. Waltercation thought he's out, but not. Now, this is a really good move here. the pack kind of collapses on one another, but everybody, all of the defenders, were aware enough to notice we've got 2 jammers coming back as well, and they kept the recycle from happening. Now, because Lignon did not have the star on his head, he could not pick up lead.
So Walter Cation actually did have lead. He was given it, and like basically right as he was being hit out.
Okay, got it.
And then so he sort of, the whole like the eat the baby thing happened, and then unfortunately it just kept coming all the way more and more farther back. So he did have that, but it didn't, he wasn't really able to do much with it other than call the jam off.
Other than keeping the other team from scoring.
Yeah.
Which is also important.
Boomerang on the line there again with Daredevil. Leviathan attempting for a nice assist.
Boomerang out as lead. Oh, big hit there.
That is Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan.
He's my other boyfriend.
Doing a great job there, keeping Boomerang, recycling him back. Boomerang steps out, sees Daredevil coming in, and calls it off. Again, we have a 0-0 jam. No, I'm sorry, 4-0 jam.
Yep. Collision was able to pick up 4 points there, keep the wheels scoreless.
So it does bring us 72 for Collision, 52 for Wheels. 5 minutes left in the half.
And we've got Lignon jamming. And the Senator. Ooh, is this the first time we're seeing the Senator with the star?
It is indeed.
Mixing things up. I love that. Oh, looks like we've got, that is number 5.
Yeah,
Ghost.
Mr. Ghost. Senator picking up lead there. That's Lignon taking off the cap now, noticing that the Senator has lead, and but ends up stashing it. Once the lane opens up, he just says, I'm going to take it myself.
Yep.
Senator checking out his bench as he comes around the far straightaway. They say call it, so he does. He is able to pick up 5.
You always want to make sure that you're following what your bench says.
Absolutely.
That's very important.
So far in this half, Collision has led with lead jams. And that has shown on the scoreboard, even though we do have just a little over 20-point differential. Daredevil with a star for Wheels. Walter Cation with a star for Collision. It looks like Walter Cation did pick up lead on that one. Daredevil also out of the pack. A little less than half a track behind Walter Cation.
Mm-hmm. Got a little micro pack kind of happening for Collision.
Wheels trying to talk the jam ref into giving him a point. He really believed he passed the hips, but no.
And 2 for Collision.
Lignon on the line for Wheels. Boomerang on the line for Collision. So green 3. Jen, that was a multiplayer block there, but that does not help Boomerang much. That is a strong tripod there, led in the front by Satisfaction. Boomerang looking for an inside lane. And picks up a track cut. Boomerang headed to the box, and that leaves Lignon open for lead.
And Lignon grabs that lead and says, "Mine!" I'ma take it and run. 3 blockers out there for the wheels, 2 for collision.
I'm sorry, that was just a really great move for, this is Matt Daddy here against Lignon, taking Slim Skating and just throwing him at another blocker. I mean, hey, you know.
It works.
That's what I need. So you can actually, it's legal to take the body of your teammate and throw it into another person. That's totally fine.
As long as they don't get a penalty.
That's right. As long as they handle it cleanly. Oh, Boomerang
Ooh, nice.
skips a hop right over the top of that apex. Now, remember, Boomerang did pick up the penalty.
Yep, so that was his initial pass.
So Wheels looking for that momentum.
Starting to definitely find some.
I'm looking to see. That was only 4 points put up, so 1 pass after the initial. That brings Wheels to 56, Collision to 79. We're right at 35 seconds left on the period clock.
With that whistle, we are off and running. Well, kind of running.
Skating.
Skating. We're stationary. They're the ones doing the work.
Right. We're doing some mental work, and they're doing the physical work.
Daredevil lead jammer for Wheels of Mayhem. Got hit or miss.
She's gonna stop just a minute and try to give Daredevil some trouble, but that satisfaction giving her a little trouble back. The pack stretches out all the way back here past the jammer line.
Ghost and Esparza working with Satisfaction and Leviathan. That is the Senator trying to come and assist.
Yeah.
Hit or miss. As the pivot, that makes complete sense because
Yes.
we do have a star pass for that.
So the period clock has expired, and Wheels has already put 10 on the board right now. Daredevil looking to pick up as many points as possible before we head into the half.
Daredevil attempts a little a jump through that straightaway, unsuccessful, unfortunately, and following suit, the Senator does the same with the unfortunate same results of unsuccessful jumping.
So ultimately, that was a 13-point jam for Daredevil. We are at 79, Collision 69, Wheels of Mayhem, and this is the half.
It's a 10-point game.
It's crazy.
I'm loving it. I
So,
love some good roller derby. You
Yes.
can't see it from probably where you are at home, but all of the teams are kind of shaking hands and checking in and making sure everybody's good, and so that always makes me happy. And then so there we have that rolling whistle. So
Yes.
we will be back in just about 9 minutes.
You go pop some more popcorn, refresh your beverage, stretch your legs,
I'm gonna eat some Cheetos.
and come on back here.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Yes.
Okay.
Those intermissions go by very quickly.
You think you're like, I got 10 minutes. I can do all of this stuff. And then it's like, oh my gosh, there's 30 seconds left. I didn't do anything.
What I did do, though, during our break, LC, is I checked on the penalty status here. Now,
You're so smart.
Esparza, number 38 for Wheels, as well as Ghost, number 5 for Wheels, both sitting on 5 penalties right now. The only person that has significant penalties for Collision is Brickhouse, number 1358, with 3. So we'll have to see. Wheels have the short roster.
First jam underway. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
to
all right.
apologize, but I'm interjecting.
Do it.
Because Walter Cation for the Collision is your lead jammer. We have a little bit of do-si-do happening for our Wheels of Mayhem blockers. One's in the penalty box, one leaves, another one decides to go sit there anyways.
So Collision able to pick up 1 point there on that, so that puts them in an even 80.
11-point difference right now. It's 80 to 69. If you have things to say to us, at me, find loose change on the Twitter sphere. You can talk to us.
I like it.
Hashtag the Big O, or no, sorry, Big O 2018.
No spaces, none of that stuff. Just hashtag capital BIG capital O 2018. That's Daredevil back on the track with the star for Wheels. Boomerang with the star for Collision. Boomerang out as lead jammer.
Dr. Manhattan for Wheels of Mayhem having a little skate issue.
Yeah.
Takes himself to the inside, does something and considers himself okay. So
Just fixes it, man.
Yep. Heads right back out.
Does what he needs to do. Boomerang through for another.
All right. So you said I'm stealing all of your
You may.
information.
When I added the extra one for
Perfect.
satisfaction.
We're speaking in code, folks out there in the internet world. We're talking about penalties is what's happening. I want to be able to give you adequate updates. We've got 999 easy button on the line for Collision, and that is Linyan for the Mayhem.
First time with the star for easy button.
Some good.
But good job forcing the pack sort of to the outside trajectory and then taking the inside lane.
Linyan is through.
That's Matt Daddy picking up a penalty there. Dr. Manhattan released from the box right at the end there. Collision with 2 blockers in the box. An easy button celebrating his 4 points.
Slowly increasing that little bit of lead. You know, it goes from 10 points to 11 points and then 14 points. 24 points. Are we at 24 points?
Yep.
Yep, 24-point difference. That was nothing.
Yes.
Nothing died. We just had to do some mental math. While we were mental mathing, Daredevil pulled out the lead jammer.
That is the first lead jam that the Wheels have had in this half.
It is only the second jam? Oh,
It is jam number 4.
Wow.
Jam number 4. First time lead here. I don't think he was ready to call it off just yet.
Daredevil called it off, not realizing that he had one in the penalty box and probably didn't want to do that. But, you know,
so
it happens.
I mean, apparently the announcer's curse also works for broadcast because as soon as I said Collision didn't have anyone in penalty trouble, they have quite a few people taking a sit down over there. It's been a revolving door on the penalty box so far this half. Everybody needs to calm down.
The Senator jamming again for Collision. That is number 9, Real Slim Skatey, taking a trip to the penalty box, as well as Linyan, who was the lead jammer. Didn't pick up any points,
Right.
but ran the jam long enough to have his blocker leave the penalty box. So you got a nice little breather. When when you're running 8, you want to have that opportunity every once in a while, and also was able to keep the Senator from scoring any points as well. So kind of a win-win.
That's the bonus. I mean, yeah, that worked out really well for Wheels. All the box cleared for Wheels, but leaving 2 blockers for Collision. Oh, so that was a satisfaction picking up a direction.
We've got Daredover jamming for Wheels.
Boomerang with the star for Collision.
Boomerang coming up against Dr. Manhattan. And
Dr. Manhattan picking up
Ghost.
another one. So Collision picked up lead on that one. That's Boomerang coming around the track. Heading into the pack again, picks up 5. Collision knocking at the door of the 100-point mark. They're at 98 to Wheels 74.
Satisfaction release from the penalty box.
Boomerang puts up another 5, and that takes them over 100.
They have cleared the century mark. Oh, and unfortunately, good news for Collision. Not so great.
No.
Hey-oh.
Okay, lots of different miscommunication there, but did look like Boomerang.
There was like a track cut, but not a track cut. Boomerang was going off, and then Boomerang was coming back on, and some confusion happening.
Yeah, I think so. What the inside jam ref was looking at the outside refs to see if both the blocker and the jammer stepped on the line. It looked like he thought there was a cut, but actually the outside refs were saying no. The other blocker also stepped out, so no pass, no penalty. So Boomerang was able to get that 5 points instead of picking up a penalty. So at the end of that, it was a 17-point jam.
And the jam has started. There's some stuff happening. Hit or miss. Jamming for the Collision.
That's Daredover.
Lead jammer status now for Mayhem.
Dr. Manhattan just happened to be right here in front of me. Got knocked out of bounds and was just like, darn. Hit or miss, picking up a track cut. This will be a power, it will be a power start for the Wheels of Mayhem. They just picked up 5 on that last pass.
Wheels of Mayhem at 79 to Collision's 110. So we've got a 31-point difference. Some officials clarifying things, making sure all of their T's are crossed and I's are dotted.
And we're off. That's Lignon that the Wheels have decided to put on the line for this power start. Brick House picking up another penalty.
Lignon is through and lead jammer.
So Wheels, just when you were thinking that space was going to open up, the Wheels of Mayhem are finding some kind of momentum here. You see Lignon working against the front of that pack. Matt Daddy picking up a penalty. Has to let Lignon go.
Hit or miss coming out of that penalty box, but meets with that wall of four green blockers.
That wall of green is scary.
I would be slightly nervous coming up against that from a jammer perspective.
Hit or miss, looking around for her pivot, but her pivot is not on the track. Her pivot is in the penalty box.
There's only one blocker on the track at this point in time for Collision.
She's looking, but he's not coming because he's not there.
And just like that, the Matt Daddy, the pivot is back on the track.
Matt Daddy trying to stop Esparza from recycling hit or miss back so far, but if you've noticed Esparza's work so far, you notice he's someone that you have a hard time
moving.
Yeah, there again, hit or miss, out of bounds by Esparza.
Hit her. Just little bit of a.
That was wonderful. That was everything I want to see right there.
If you missed it, folks, it was Esparza had a real nice hit or miss, ended up going out, and then as Esparza was just sort of waiting for hit or miss to come and enter, they did a nice little high five to one another.
She was like, "That was a good hit."
Yep,
That was a good hit.
It was just like, that was a good one, buddy.
Now, while we were just really impressed by this, let me say that was a 31-point jam for the Wheels of Mayhem. That brings us to a tie game. We are at 110 all. 18 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in this game.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. 1842, 110, 110. I think the only more, let's see, we had a 29-point jam in the previous bout.
Yep. This is by far the biggest one. While we were so impressed by all this blocking and defensive work out there, watching the penalties happen,
Lin Yun was
just piling up the points.
Making a boss of a decision. And, I think Esparza has been fouled out.
Esparza did come into the second half with 5 penalties. That will be a big loss for the Wheels of Mayhem. We are, everyone's conferring with everyone else.
I'm seeing what appears to be Esparza sitting across from us on the floor.
So I think Esparza was in the box at the end of that jam, and so we'll see here. So disappointed.
Well,
that was such a great player.
Yeah. So it looks like Esparza was fouled out. So with that, someone will sub in to serve the rest of his penalty. So we've got Daredevil jamming for the Wheels, going up against what is that?
Waltercation.
Waltercation.
Little trip there
To the penalty box for a low block.
Oh, low block, because that was weird. Like some skates got caught up right here, but both jammers headed to the penalty box. This means they'll both sit for maybe 3-4 seconds, then come right back out on the track, and no lead. This will go the full. We got another minute and 20 seconds here.
And so that looks like that it's another penalty, though, there for Daredevil. Daredevil, kind of starting to rack those up, getting into the potential for some trouble coming down the pike.
Oh, no. That was a penalty for satisfaction. That's at least 6.
Oof. This is when it starts to get a little bit scary, folks, because looks like we've got Ghost going in for a penalty as well. Can't see.
We got 1 blocker apiece in the penalty box. That gives us 3-3 on the track and the jammer
for Wheels of Mayhem.
Yeah,
Wait, nope.
Sorry to stop talking in the middle of a sentence.
Nope.
All of the things are happening, and that's another penalty for Daredevil.
That might potentially be 7 for Daredevil? I don't know.
I don't trust my own count. I trust the penalty box wranglers' count more than mine.
Yep.
But we do just have a couple more seconds left on the jam clock here. Waltercation puts up an additional. Is that 5?
Looks like 5 to me. Yep. So Waltercation for a total of 9 for the collision. Wheels of Mayhem 0.
0. Looks like they're remaining at 110.
Looks like 0. So
this is an interesting situation. Wheels playing such a great, determined game on the track are now starting to suffer from some penalty trouble.
if the math is correct, There is 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 skaters that are all sitting at 6 penalties. Daredevil.
So Boomerang picking up a track cut right there. Daredevil, there we go. Daredevil did get out of the pack from the penalty box.
Yep, but he's not lead jammer.
He is lead jammer.
Is he? Okay.
There was a lot of confusion there. He popped up out of the penalty box so quickly, but he was declared lead, and so you'll see when he comes out of the pack, his jam ref will hold up the hand again. It's pointing to him now. Boomerang has served his penalty. He's headed back into that scary green wall.
Daredevil calls it off, but is able to pick up another 5 points. So, we have a wheel change. A wheel
change too.
Woo! We've got a lead change, friends. Wheels of Mayhem 120, 2 collisions 119.
So this is the first time they've led since the first 2 minutes of this game.
Oh my goodness. 5 seconds. We've got Easy Button on the line going up against Lignan. Lignan is through and your lead jammer.
Mouth picking up another penalty there. Pack bar out of the box. Lignan headed in quickly. Finds a pack bar there. The normal green wall there has collapsed even tighter. Perhaps giving Lignan a little trouble as well. Hit or miss. Trying to make her own play there, but she has to let Lignan go. Lignan picking up 5.
Yep.
Hit or miss, picking up a penalty. No, she is not. I was just kidding.
There has been a lot of penalties going on.
People are skating kind of off, and then they go back on. So that was Leviathan picking up a penalty, headed to the box.
Satisfaction picking up a penalty as
That's
well.
got to be it for Satisfaction. Oh, they're holding up the sign here. Satisfaction knows. Hit or miss did actually get a penalty on that one. I'm telling you, I just want to thank all the penalty box wranglers that are.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's be realistic. These officials.
I can't even.
These officials are doing an amazing job.
Did we
Thank
mention
you.
them?
Thank you so much, officials. You know, we didn't. I'm gonna read
them right now because they're fabulous. Tenacious D Cup, Chemical Restraint, PK Tipsy Moo, Jeftimus, Viva la Evolution.
Where was your question? Oh, that is PK Biddy.
PK Biddy,
Mm-hmm.
Shorty, Nitty, Delilah Decider, Bola Constrictor, Tuck and Roll, Adam Smasher, Karma Suture, and Hannah. All of these people just keeping us straight because there is a lot of stuff happening. If you're watching the feed, just people skating all over the place because of the rule that allows you to skate in the opposite direction to the penalty box. We've got bodies coming here and there and
flying
everywhere.
Every which way direction.
It is a lot to keep track of, and I'm tired.
Uh-oh. It looks like Dr. Manhattan has fouled out. I see him hanging out over there by, again, who I assume is Esparza.
Esparza. Maybe he'll turn around.
Yep.
Oh.
Esparza.
And
Dr. Manhattan.
They're talking to Satisfaction over here at the penalty box, so I know that he was close. If that's not 7, I would be surprised. On the plus side, Well, that's if they've lost 2 and if they potentially lose 3.
That leaves them with 5.
That leaves them with exactly 5.
Leviathan, Linyan, Jin, Ghost, and Dover. Daredover, excuse me.
So
And
I know they're-
yep, there goes
there goes
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction. So we'll see. I mean, I know that you have to have a certain number of skaters on your roster in order to play. Did you get that message from our head referee?
I did. I eavesdropped on our head referee. The reason for the official timeout was to ensure that everything was okay with the people who were fouling out, as well as the fact that there was approximately 17 penalties that happened in the 2-minute jam. So they were just making sure that everything was good and everything was taken care of and everybody was good to go.
So what you'll notice now is there are 3 collision blockers in the penalty box. That's Brick out there alone. Here comes Mouth out of the box.
But unfortunately,
Yeah.
it looks like
Brick's picking up a penalty.
Brickhouse going back to the penalty box,
So that's Boomerang with the star for collision.
as
and-
well as Ghost going back to the penalty box, which I believe puts him at 7 as well.
Yeah. So Daredover with the star trying to run a little interference there with Boomerang. Both players picking up 4 points as they come around. Now, this is interesting because the Wheels of Mayhem have 138 points. Collision has 123. We're watching as the Wheels players foul out. I think we might have to. Nope, our officials are going to keep going here. I know the Wheels are anxious to keep going. Daredover has to go back out as Jammer, and that's Waltercation with the star for collision.
Leviathan raising his hand saying, I'm the one that's going to hit him out. I'm the one that's going to hit him out.
But Waltercation does pick up lead Jammer.
Daredover not lead Jammer. Oh, looks like we've got Ghost coming back on.
Ghost came
So-
back on, so that must have been only 6.
That makes me feel good.
I do not trust my counting.
Me neither.
While trying
I don't trust
keep
my
track with
counting.
all of this. Now, that's only 1 point on the board for Wheels, but 0 for Collision. Waltercation unable to put any points on the board that time. That still leaves Wheels of Mayhem ahead.
There's just under 11 minutes remaining. Wheels of Mayhem currently with 5 skaters, all of which are
All
on the
are
track.
on the track.
Linyan jamming for Wheels of Mayhem going up against 52 Boomerang for Collision.
Oh. Big pile up. Oh,
Ooh.
no. Did he get... I thought he might have gotten a little pop in the nose there. And Daredover heading back to the penalty box. Meanwhile, Boomerang picking up lead Jammer for Collision. Pack Bar also picking up another penalty. He's got to settle it down.
That is 5 points for Boomerang.
Boomerang needs to do that a couple more times to pull Collision into the lead position on the scoreboard. Five additional points, 10 points so far. That brings Collision 133 to the Wheels 139. So everybody on the Wheels team needs to stay on the track.
Unfortunately, it looks like Daredover potentially just fouled out.
Oh. Dare Dover, a very valuable player for them. So 4?
That would be four fouls. Satisfaction, Dr. Manhattan, Esparza, and now Dare Dover. Dare
That
Dover.
leaves them.
Okay, but here's my question now. Did Dare Dover foul out, or does he just need to go see the medic? Because he's currently with the medic. If he did get, a bump to the nose and there was the potential for blood, obviously the rules
Right.
state that you have to go see the medic. You have to sit out your 3 jams, make sure before anything, can...
So here's Wheels out on the track pumping themselves up because they've only got 4 players to field for this jam.
Yeah, Mayhem.
They are in the lead, 139 to 133.
9.5 minutes remaining on this half.
They've got 4 players. Dare Dover, it looks like to me they're doing a concussion protocol, so it could have been that he just got a headbutt there. The crowd here is pulling for the Wheels of Mayhem as well. They've got a fan section. It's really hard not to pull for these guys who have traveled such a long way. And
all right, woo! I'm giving Mayhem a little bit of love.
get a little bit of love. Now we start off this next jam. Will be jam number 15. There are 2 collision blockers in the box. We have 4 Wheels of Mayhem players on the track. And I cannot see who's jamming. Lignon certainly for Wheels.
All right.
That looks like...
So there's conversations happening.
So Ghost is stepped over to talk with the officials.
Oh my goodness. I am in love with the Wheels of Mayhem, and I want to now move to Baja California, Mexico, and just hang out with these guys all the time. They are...
I imagine they're talking about something.
My guess is do we let them continue
Yes.
since they only have 4 skaters?
And if I can tell anything by the Wheels so far in this game, they would say, we only have 9.5 minutes. We're ready to keep doing this. Sorry, we're just getting a little update there from some other folks who are helping us keep track of all these numbers.
Oh, friends, this is some high-quality roller derby action. And I am so sorry that all of you at home aren't actually here to see this live and in person, because this is just wonderful. This is what roller derby is all about. Good bouts, good teams, good close action. 133 to 139, 9.5 minutes remaining. Oh man, I was just sitting here. We can watch Matt Daddy, the jammer with 4 Collision, just hanging around chatting with Lignon.
And Silent
Jammer
Bob's out there
4.
talking to Lignon as well.
Looks like we are going to continue.
Collision also giving props to Wheels for hanging out, staying on the track. There are 4. We've seen
3 blockers, 1 jammer.
Yeah.
I love this. This is my first time ever seeing this happen. This is something that no one is going to forget. And
This
these
game-
Wheels of Mayhem have just been amazing.
Y'all thought track 3 was less than. Sorry.
Track 3 is where the party's at.
Yes. Track 3 is the bomb.
This is, I love, this right here is why I love roller derby. Oh.
Everybody was so ready
What?
to jump.
I was,
but that was
roller
the
derby. Let's do it.
Everybody was so tense. The whole room was quiet. And
It really was.
everybody's heart has stopped now. It was a timeout.
Looks like we've got a little timeout happening. We got a little mind meld going on over there for the Wheels of Mayhem.
It totally stopped everyone's heart. Okay, but I think maybe
Woo.
now we're back. Again, we're going to start with 2 collision blockers
In
the
the
box.
box.
It's Matt Daddy with a star and Lignon with a star.
Mayhem, mayhem, mayhem. The crowd is on the Wheels
Oh.
of Mayhem side and being able to utilize that.
Oh,
Oh.
no! I thought Lignon picked up lead, but he picked up a track cut instead. Matt Daddy out as lead jammer for collision. Lignon.
Matt Daddy being assessed a penalty.
Oh, no!
Will be
Low
going,
block.
releasing Lignon.
So Matt Daddy picking up that low block. So that was kind of a long time to hold on to Lignon.
I think Lignon was released. I don't think he realized he was released.
Matt Daddy only serving the amount of time that Lignon should have served. Now both jammers have been to the
Nice
box,
little
and
foot
now
race.
they're just. Oh no! Lignon gets another track cut. Matt Daddy picking up 5 for that pass.
Big ol' hop over that apex for Matt Daddy. Picks up 5 points.
That does put Collision in the lead. They're at 143 to the Mayhem's 139. Matt Daddy backwards through the pack. Collision has all of their blockers now out of the penalty box, and this is a power jam. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, a little bit
my
of friendly
goodness.
fire there.
Okay, that was. Whew.
We've
That
got Ghost. We've got Lignon. We've got Jin.
Oh.
We've got
Sorry. I'm sorry to yell in the mic. I really apologize, friends, in listening land.
Leviathan.
Matt Daddy with a 20-point jam. That jam comes to a close. 20 points on the board from Matt Daddy. That will be 153 for Collision, 139 for Wheels of Mayhem. Whew. I'm out of breath, LC.
This is exciting roller derby. Friends, if you are not watching this or if you're not enjoying this, then I don't know what kind of roller derby you like. You should tell me. We've got Waltercation on the line with, look at that, it's Lignon jamming
I
for
know.
the Wheels of Mayhem.
Waltercation out as lead jammer.
Another Senator picks up a.
I missed the cue on that one, but that's also Leviathan.
Leviathan picked up a.
Waltercation putting up 4.
Lignon picking up 4 as well.
Oh, big hit there. Waltercation headed to the infield. Looks like Lignon able to pick up a few points. Let's see, the jam refs are conferring, so let's make sure this is the total. Jam ref coming over to make sure. No, 9 points for Collision, 7 points for Wheels.
We have.
Oh, yeah, that was
Head ref used
Like a
their
lot of-
discretion and said, yes, they did call a timeout. We are calling a timeout. We are calling a timeout, official or otherwise.
this game is confusing to me.
This is why, when it comes to tournaments, you have very experienced officials.
That's right. And also why you come to tournaments so you can see weird stuff happen and
You
figure
can see
out how to
amazing stuff
how to
happen.
handle it. Like, oh yeah, okay, that's smart thinking.
Okay, so it is a team timeout. Team timeout by the Collision.
Yeah, I think the captain of their team maybe called a timeout there right before the whistle. Not quite sure.
With that rolling whistle, that means we are probably going to be getting back to the Derby.
Now, look out front there.
5.5
That's
minutes.
Ghost. Way out front by himself.
Linyan jamming.
And Boomerang able to get through, not surprisingly. Now, Linyan's taken off the star, but oh, here we go. Okay. Leviathan is out of the pack. I'm quite sure Linyan wouldn't mind a break. Ghost and Leviathan. Oh my goodness!
Ooh.
That was a big hit
Big.
there. I think he got called for the high block.
I believe that was
Whew, man.
a high block on Leviathan.
That's 4 additional points for Boomerang. That brings Collision to 171. Wheels at 146. We're about 4.5 minutes left to go in the second half. The Wheels fan section going crazy.
Wheels of Mayhem. Everybody here is cheering for the Wheels of Mayhem. Even Collision is cheering for the Wheels of Mayhem.
Of course. You wanna play hard on the track, but they're all nice to one another when they get off the track. Wheels able to pick up 4 on that one. That was a 19-point run for Boomerang.
4 minutes remaining. We've got Leviathan,
Surprise!
Linyan, Jin, and Ghost.
You know, they're just out there playing. They're having a good time.
They're just loving roller derby. Linyan jamming for Wheels of Mayhem.
And Linyan
And gets lead jammer! The crowd goes wild.
Well, Altercation also out of the pack on an initial pass. Again, we have a perpetual track advantage to Collision, but it looks like Linyan able to pick up 2 and call it off.
Just almost 3 minutes remain. And Linyan just skating with four teammates.
Oh, no.
Official timeout.
We're sort of
Oh, goodness.
losing one after the other.
It looks like Jin is
Jen is out.
is
sitting with
visiting
our medics.
our delightful medics
Yes.
that we have.
No. Yeah, everybody clapping for Wheels.
Woo!
The place is going crazy. Yes, big hugs there for this incredible team that has shown so much heart. Now we do have a rolling whistle.
That means we are going to end this bout. Unfortunately, but true, as there would only be 3 skaters remaining for the Wheels of Mayhem.
Just congratulations to the Wheels for withstanding, just wanting to go to the end. It is a shame that there was only 3 minutes left, but they just had so few players
All the hugs, all
of the high
high
fives.
fives.
Yes. Just, you know, I've been kind of keeping some basic stats here, but I don't even feel like they're important, because what's important is these players came out here, did a great job. You know, they played the first half incredible.
Mayhem, 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 mayhem. The crowd is loving the wheels
Yes.
of mayhem as they are taking a victory lap.
And there's our fouled out skaters who are
With-
running around on their bare feet. Or their sock feet, rather.
And here
And
we have Collision taking their victory lap.
You know what, Elsie? That was amazing.
That was quite possibly one of the funnest bouts I have
totally
had the
enjoyed
opportunity to watch.
And I totally enjoyed calling it with you.
It has been such a pleasure. Obviously, it would have been a delight to be able to finish it with those last four. The last four standing: Leviathan, Leon, Jin, and Ghost. To the gentlemen of Wheels of Mayhem, I salute you and thank you. You are both all gentlemen and scholars. And one more reason that I want to move to Baja California, Mexico, to just hang out with you all the time. In the meantime, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to wrap this up.
We're going to have to go. But I'm telling you, come on back, because it has been nothing but excitement here today. And we've got the MVP bouts coming on later this afternoon. So you definitely want to tune in for those.
I am still loose change.
And I'm still Rippy Longstocking.
Rippy, it's been a delight. Have a great rest of your day. We will
been a
see you
pleasure.
all later, folks. Catch you on the flip sides.
Bye-bye.